Welcome back to Dentfish, digital dentistry's biggest pond for collaboration. In this tutorial, we're going to show you the final steps so you can put your profile and your services into the public search, get found by customers, and accept orders. We assume that you have already set up your profile, converted your account into a provider account, and also created some services. If you want to know how to do that, then please refer to the respective tutorials that we put together. So for this demonstration, we have created two services, crown and veneer service, and we have also activated both of these. Now there is one final very important step before you can start to accept orders, and that is you need to open for business. So at the moment, your services are not visible in a public search, neither is your profile, because you have currently deactivated your business. So you can toggle the switch to open your business. Let's do that now. Well, we get a notification here that we're not able to do that because we have not yet linked a bank account to this profile. And so you're not able to open for business unless you have linked a bank account. That's very important because we need to pay you, right? So let's link that bank account. To do that, we can just click here on Add a Payout Account, or you can go to Settings and then you find this Payout Accounts section. So depending on the country you're in, you see different options here, but most of the time you will find an option that is called Link Stripe Account or Link Bank Account. Now let me also really briefly talk about Stripe. Stripe is our main settlement partner when it comes to payouts and also for payments. So what or who is Stripe? Let me take you real quick to the Stripe website to explain to you. So this is a Stripe website, and that's a company that is processing payments in the internet. You don't probably know this company because it's not a consumer company, it's a company that works together with other companies. And so you can see here, these are some of their customers, for example, booking.com, salesforce.com, or also Shopify. Shopify is a huge e-commerce platform that powers the e-shops of many very big companies. So chances are that you have used Stripe before, but you didn't even realize it because they work in the background. And so we also work with Stripe. And the reason why we do that is to keep you safe and all our users' credit card details safe. So we don't store any of your bank information or your credit card information by ourselves. That's all handled by Stripe, who are real world-class experts in that. This is why we're working with Stripe. But we still want to let you know that we're working with Stripe for full transparency. So in order to get started, you can click the button Link Stripe Account or Link Bank Account, it might say, in your profile. So the first thing you got to do here is to select the country in which your bank account is located, as well as your payout schedule. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm actually going to choose Singapore as a country where my bank account is, simply because it's a great example of all the different things that you might encounter during this sign-up process. So I choose Singapore, and then you can choose a payout schedule. I'm going to choose weekly here, and then also a payout day. Let's take Fridays, TGIF, right? So once you're done, save and continue. And this might take a little while here because now in the background, it's going to open up Stripe. So you can see that now here on the screen. And please notice that sometimes your computer or your web browser might block this pop-up. So basically what happens is that it opens a new tab in your browser, and sometimes this gets blocked. So please check in your address bar if the browser window blocked any pop-up. So once you unblock that, you can see here the Stripe onboarding workflow. So since we're choosing Singapore, I gotta switch over here to Singapore. And also note that I'm here in a test environment, so I'm not using the real Stripe account. I'm just using a test environment, so that's why I'm going to put in here fake data. So in your case, of course, you put your real phone number and so forth. But here, I'm just putting fake data because I don't want anyone's data exposed here on the internet. So I can just put here the test phone number. You would put your real phone number. And then I'm going to update this email address and continue. You then receive a confirmation email from Stripe directly that sends you some code, which you have to type here. So I can just use a test code. And now the real fun starts. So you have to tell us more about your business. This is important in order for Stripe to prevent any money laundry activities and so forth. So in our case, let's say, this is an individual or sole proprietorship kind of business. And by the way, this data is different depending on the country you've chosen. So in your country, this might look slightly different, might have slightly different options. It's not possible to make a tutorial for every country at this point, but more or less it's similar, but you will have different options. You have to put your legal name. That's very important, and also needs to correspond with your bank account and obviously your business. So make sure here to put your legal name as it shows up in your ID. You need to put yourself. You need to put your birth date, and then also an address. So since I'm here in a test environment, I will just put a dummy address. But of course, you need to put your real address. Now, in the case of Singapore here, I'm putting down my ID number. For different countries, there are different options. So in some countries, they require you to put the passport. In some countries, you require to put social security number. So it really depends on where you set up this account. But generally, you're going to need to put down some information about a document that identifies you in that country. There's no other way. You have to do that. So you move on by clicking next. And here now on that next screen, and again, that next screen, it looks different depending on the country you're located. On this next screen here, you are basically putting down the details about your bank account. So in my case here, since I'm using the test environment, I can just let it populate some test data. And we're already almost done. So here you get a summary then of all the stuff that you put there. And again, this might look slightly different depending on which country you're located in, but please notice that sometimes you get here a warning or some kind of red flag that shows up. It's best to tackle that straight away. So in my case here, they want some additional information. So you can click on update. So, and this is why I've chosen Singapore as an example, because in the case of Singapore, you actually need to upload your ID as well. And one more time, this all is data that we never see at Dentfish. This is all directly going to Stripe, and Stripe again is one of the most reliable and largest payment processors in the internet, serving companies, Fortune 500 companies. And so it's very safe to actually put your data here. Don't worry about it. So you have different options. You can take a picture with your phone, with your webcam, or you can upload a file. In my case, since this is a test environment, I can just say, well, I'm going to use test data. So in your case, of course, you would have to do all of this. So in this case now, we don't get any red flags anymore. And if you don't have any red flags anymore, then that's the best way. And sometimes you can also try to finish the process even though you still have some red flags. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It really depends a little bit on the jurisdiction you're in. But in our case here now, we basically have done everything, and then we can click done. And what this does now, it takes me back to Dentfish. So I'm done now basically telling Stripe all about my bank account and where I want to be paid to. And so it takes me back to Dentfish, and This will take a little while, so give it a while, and then it will update and give you the green notification that your Stripe account in this particular case was linked successfully. And you can now also see that there are now 3 buttons. So there is an edit Stripe account button, edit payout schedule button, and also you could unlink your account. But do so with caution, because if you unlink your account, we can no longer pay you. And so if you try to unlink your account, you also get a warning here, a big warning. And also please keep in mind that if we have still some payments that we owe you, you're not able to actually unlink your bank account. If you would like to change your bank account, you can do that by clicking Edit Stripe or Edit Bank Account, it might say in your dashboard. So again, this takes a little while, and it will then open up in a new tab in your browser the details of your Stripe account. So these are all the things that you just put down there that are still in there. So let's say you want to change your bank account. You could do that by clicking here on the pencil within Stripe, and then you have to go through some verification stuff again, and could update your bank account. So in my case, again, I'm just using test data to do that. So with this, you have already updated your bank account, and you can just close that tab. There is no additional work you have to do because you have already linked your account, your Stripe account. So that's the beauty of this solution. You basically just change it on Stripe side. You don't have to actually change it in your Dentfish dashboard. So with this, we're now ready to put our business live. So I'm going back to services. And now, if I come back to my Open for Business toggle here, it works. I have now just opened the business here. You can also see that the little warning here disappeared. And indeed, if we were to go now to the search, and we're going to look for a veneer, for example, there you go. We get the Art of Smile Studio in a search result for veneer, and we can also click our tab. So this is the provider profile, the demo profile that we set up over the last couple of tutorials. You can see that also our other service that we set up, the crown, is here on our provider card. So this closes this little series of tutorials how to get started as a provider. We hope to welcome you soon on the Dentfish platform. And if you have some more questions, then you can always write to us at support@dentfish.com, or you can also go to the contact form that you find on our website. We hope you will find success with our platform. Thanks a lot for going through those tutorials. We're looking forward to welcome you. Bye for now.